When writing an argumentative essay, you always want to acknowledge the opposing argument in order to strengthen your credibility and show that you're a reasonable and fair-minded person. By acknowledging that your opponent's argument has its merits, you'll show you're not a fanatic who only sees things in black and white. Acknowledging the opposing argument also helps you weaken your opponent's point. Don't avoid tough arguments because it leaves you defenseless. Cite the opposing argument yourself and then respond to it in a way that's favorable to your argument. In response to the Birmingham campaign, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. received a letter from 8 clergymen stating the following: "We do not believe that these extreme measures are justified in Birmingham." To give you some context, the Birmingham campaign began in April 1963 with coordinated marches and sit-ins against racism and racial segregation. Now, these 8 clergymen felt that Martin Luther King was an extremist because of these actions. In his piece, Letter from Birmingham Jail, Martin Luther King responds to these assertions by first arguing that his actions are not extreme. But then he takes a different approach. He briefly acknowledges their argument and admits that, in some ways, he may be an extremist. However, he then goes on to compare himself to other well-known extremists, like Jesus, Abraham Lincoln, and Thomas Jefferson. He leads us to question whether being an extremist is such a bad thing. By acknowledging the opposing argument and briefly agreeing with it, he prompts his opponent to view him as knowledgeable and reasonable before he delivers his ultimate rebuttal. Will we be extremists for hate or for love? Now, how do you do this in your own writing? First, identify counter-arguments by finding your opponent's most persuasive points. What would they say to hurt your argument? Then, craft your rebuttal. Address specific flaws in the opponent's evidence or reasoning and refute their claims. Finally, cite relevant evidence that will help you weaken your opponent's argument. As always, don't forget to cite this information. Remember, using a counter-argument and rebuttal shows that you've come to your position after giving a balanced analysis of both sides, which is far more persuasive than ranting from a single perspective. Good luck as you work to acknowledge and refute the opposing arguments today.